All right. Call to order the meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge, January 23rd, 2025, regular meeting at the River Edge Library and remotely on Zoom, 6:30 p.m. I ask for a moment of silent prayer and reflection for our country as we begin a new administration and for all of our immigrants and their particular situations. Ready, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Statement of compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act. This meeting complies with the Open Public Meeting Act by notification via January 21st, 2024, sunshine notice containing the location, date, and time, and access information to the town news and the record, and by posting of the same on the municipal bulletin board and the borough website, and filing notice of the same with the municipal clerk. Madam Clerk, welcome back, and roll call, please.
Council President Roxanne O'Connell.
Present.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Here.
Councilwoman Mallory.
Here.
Councilman Benson.
Here.
Councilman Glass.
Here.
Councilwoman Dario.
Here.
Mayor Papalayo.
Here. Could I have a motion and a second to go into closed session, resolution 25-57, resolution to enter into closed session, attorney-client privilege, NJSA 10:4-12B5, affordable housing requirements.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Now, for the members of the public and those viewing this later, we will be returning in about 30 minutes, but hopefully we'll be able to edit that out. So we're going to pause recording and we'll be returning. That's good. And we'll be returning at about 7, maybe a little bit earlier with any luck. So at this point, we will pause the recording. I call back into session the regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge, January 23rd, 2025. It is now 6:14 p.m. I'm sorry, thank you, 7:14 p.m. Both in the River Edge Library and on Zoom. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Council President Roxanne O'Connell.
Here.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Here.
Councilwoman Mallory.
Here.
Councilman Benson.
Here.
Councilman Glass.
Here.
Councilwoman Dario.
Here.
Mayor Papalayo.
Here. Is there any action based on the closed session that we wish to take at this time, Madam Council President?
Yes, Mayor. I would like to add to the resolutions by consent, the resolution of the New Borough of River Edge, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, committing to round 4, present and prospective need affordable housing obligations.
And what will this resolution be numbered?
2573.
Okay, could I have, we can do this by unanimous consent, right? All in favor, no, I need a second to that motion. It has been moved and seconded. It is open to debate. Is there debate? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so when we go to the consent agenda, it will be added in the vote, okay? Could I have a motion and second to approve the minutes of the Mayor and Council regular and closed session, October 28th, 2024, regular and closed session, November 25th, 2024, regular meeting of December 9th, 2024, Seni Die and reorganization meeting of January 6th. All previous dates were 2024. This one is 2025.
So moved.
We need a second? Pretty?
Second.
Or Claudiana, great. It's been moved and seconded. Are there any corrections or any comments?
Yes. I need to abstain from the November 25th regular
So when we move, you'll say
abstain.
for only those. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any abstentions?
No, I need to abstain from November 25th meeting.
Is there any other abstentions?
Yes, Mayor, I need to abstain from the Senate Die and reorganization meeting of January 6th, 2025.
But do you both affirm the other meetings?
Yes,
Correct.
All right, are there any objections? All right, having heard, it has been so moved and approved. Could I have a motion second to open to the public on any item on this agenda?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Okay, is there, Councilwoman Kinsella, is there anyone in the, no, there's not. There's just the two, which is us. Okay, nope. All right, there is no, one to speak to the agenda. Could I have motion second to close the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. We have monthly reports available to the public, land use board for December, tax report from December, library board from January. They are upon request from the borough clerk, so we want to allow the public to realize that. We have our first reading or ordinance, a motion. Could I have a motion from, in a second, could I have a motion from Councilwoman Darwall and a second from Councilman Glass? A motion that the following ordinance be introduced and passed on the first reading and setting February 3rd. Wait, does she have to abstain from this one?
Nice.
Yeah, good. That's what I thought. Okay. For the first reading and setting February 13th, 2025 at 7 PM or soon thereafter as the matter can be heard as the date and time, and the River Edge Library as the place, and Zoom as a virtual platform for hearing on said ordinance. Ordinance 25-02, an ordinance amending chapter 201 of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of River Edge entitled escrow deposit.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. We are now, Madam Business Administrator, Ms. Apartella, could you please tell the public what we are hoping to achieve from this ordinance?
In reviewing the general code, it was found that chapter 201 was not consistent with our fee schedule. So this ordinance just updates the escrow deposits to align with the current fees.
Excellent. We are now open for debate. Is there debate on ordinance 25-02? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, it is unanimous. Okay, could I have a motion from Councilman Benson, a second from Councilwoman Malari to move ordinance 25-03, an ordinance to amend chapter 206 of the revived general ordinance of the Borough of River Edge entitled fees?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Business Administrator Patella, if you could.
This ordinance covers the fees that fall under the Recreation Department for various events, programs, including summer camp. The rec director presented this to the mayor and council on December 9th. The only change since that presentation is a nominal discount for participants of the running club who are returning. Otherwise, everything is what was presented on December 9th.
And since Councilwoman Darwall is a yoga instructor, she will now recuse herself by stepping off the dais for the debate and vote. Yeah, any seat. Good. Okay, it's now open for debate. Is there debate? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any opposed, any abstention? Hearing none, it is unanimous. It sounds silly, but it's appropriate parliamentary procedure, and we thank Councilwoman Darwall for being understanding of that, as well as the public. Okay, second reading and hearing on the ordinance. The following ordinance published here within was first read by title only on January 6, 2025, posted on the bulletin board outside the clerk's office. Ordinance 25-01, an ordinance to fix the salary, wages, and compensation of the officers and employees of the Borough of River Edge in the County of Bergen in the state of New Jersey for year 2025. Could I have a motion by Councilwoman Kinsella and a second from Council President Monsanto Cohen to open to the public on this ordinance?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, please say aye. No? And is there anyone remote? Councilwoman Kinsella? No, there is none. Okay, since there are no one present, could I have a motion from Councilwoman Malari and a second from Councilman Benson to close to the public?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Could I have a motion from Councilman Benson and a second from Councilwoman Darwall to, oh, I'm sorry. It is now open for debate. Is there debate? Hearing none, could I have a motion from Councilwoman Benson and Councilman Benson and Councilwoman Darwall second to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Oh, I skipped over David. I apologize, David. This would be time it'd be appropriate for a debate. Is there debate? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Council President Marcelo Hall.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinsella.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mallory.
Yes.
Councilman Benson.
Yes.
Councilman Glass.
Yes.
Councilwoman Darrow. Yes.
Is there any member of the council who needs to recuse themselves for any of the resolutions? No.
No.
Okay, great. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move, does that include confirmed recreation program instructors?
That's a separate resolution. It's
Okay.
considered under new business.
So what we're gonna do is, in a moment, could I have a motion and second from, Councilman, Glass and a second from, Councilwoman Kinsella to move resolution 25-58 through 25-70 and 25-73. I believe 73 is the, affordable housing one? All right.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. It is open for debate. Is there debate? All in favor, please say aye. Could I have, who's our finance chairman? You are. Could I have Councilwoman Kinsella move resolution 25-71 and one member of the Budget Finance Committee second it?
At a regular meeting of the mayor and council of the borough of Riverhead, county of Bergen, state of New Jersey, held on January 23rd, 2025. Be it resolved that the mayor and council of the borough of Riverhead approve the following expenditure. Current fund, $2,333,459.30. General capital fund, $32,579.96. Grant fund, $972. Trust other, $176. Payroll, $21,002.99. Developers escrow, $70.
Okay, so that's resolution 25-71. Is it moved?
So moved.
Is there a second? And there's a second. This is not debatable. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed, any abstention? All right,
Have an extension, Mayor. I abstain from.
71 minutes payment of the bills. Are you on payment of the bills? So you would abstain.
Yeah, I'm abstaining from check 65452, 65475, 65527, 65530, 65557, 65564.
Excellent. And those are all recreational checks and because of the conflict, that is why you're abstaining and that is appropriate. Okay, so that has been approved. Okay, could I have a motion and second to move resolution 25-72, Councilwoman, need to refuse? Move 25-72, confirm recreation program instructors.
So moved.
Second.
It is open for debate, commentary, or question. Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. We now move to in-person, hybrid, and remote meetings. So it looks like we'll be returning to Borough Hall somewhere between the end of February or the beginning of April. So in that window. And so I know, because I've been attending the first meeting of all the committee, commissions, and boards, that actually, I should have you say that.
Well, the environmental committee.
Yeah, and the green team.
They would prefer the hybrid, if that's an option.
Okay, so I've asked through our business administrator, Ms. Abertella, to ask Mr. Shedanian to comment on what we might do as we transition back to the building. Can we have in person only? Can we continue to have remote only? Can we have a hybrid? And if so, what would the hybrid be given state statute and practice?
So, there are tiers of answers for that
Mm.
question, as you can imagine, Mayor. That if something is a committee, that is, not required to comply with the Open Public Meetings Act by statute, they can meet however they want to meet. If something is a committee that is by statute, that is open to the public by the statute, for example, like the environmental commission, if that's by statute. So they have to meet under the Open Public Meetings Act. And there is a debate right now, and it's a gray area. So I hate to sound like a lawyer and equivocate on this, but it is a gray area right now because the Open Public Meetings Act pre-pandemic said that you could only meet in person. Pandemic, obviously, the governor issued an executive order saying that you could now have meetings electronically. Those executive orders have all expired. So there is no current law on the books, and there are a couple of cases that predate the pandemic that said that you definitely could not meet hybrid or remotely. That being said, I know there are a lot of towns that are still doing it. So my counsel is if it's a statutory commission, they should meet in person because that is required under the Public Meetings Act. And if it's not, then you can do it any way you want. I know that's probably not the answer that everybody wants to hear.
Well, no, because this leads also, when we do our budget committee, we do that remotely because it is a much more productive way of doing the budget, because when the public gets the Zoom and everything else, are you saying that we couldn't, so I immediately want to go to that because that's pressing. We couldn't do the budget committee remotely?
The budget committee is 3 members of council.
No, it's the entire
No.
council,
No, it's
plus it's
a
assistant budget committee.
A budget meeting. You mean like an actual council meeting to discuss the preparation of the budget. So, and you're gonna have department heads come in. That has to be done in person.
Okay. So, because anything that we're discussing would be binding upon us as everything else. So all commissions would have to be in public.
Correct.
But now all boards would have to be in public.
Statutory boards, correct, yes.
Okay,
Local planning board, zoning board.
okay. Now, our recreation commission is not really a commission. It was changed by ordinance, but they didn't change their name. So would they have to meet in,
I don't think so, because they're a committee now.
okay. Would the Alliance, the River Edge Alliance for Drug and Alcohol? No. So what would be the groups that must meet in person? The Environmental Commission,
Correct.
Land Use Board.
I have to, what's that, yeah.
So Land Use Board has not returned to in-person yet because of the Borough Hall. So Land Use Board is currently,
And that there is an
Remote.
exception if there's an inability to do that. There is a way to get it right now on the Open Public Meetings Act. But that's limited to when you have that situation present. So if once Borough Hall opens up, they're gonna have to return to the in-person meetings.
okay, in your writing, we're gonna write this. So the Land Use Board must go in person as of right now. The Commission, Environmental Commission must go in person right now. I don't think anybody else would, right?
That's it. I think that's
Okay,
what-
Alright.
so let's talk. Hello, go ahead.
Historic Preservation Commission, they're a statutory board.
Okay, and so they must go back in person when we open the building. Okay, so we'll need to inform them, and if the liaisons for those commissions and boards would convey that, if we send out a memo to that effect. Now, let's talk about the ones that don't. Can they meet in a hybrid, and how might that hybrid look? Because there's a couple of ways to do a hybrid. There is some are in person and some are not. And then, can the rest of the groups continue to be remote if the council allows them?
I think the answer to that is yes. I
To the
think
second one, the
to-
remote.
Well, to both actually, to me, can they be, hybrid, meaning some in person, some,
Yeah, so
electronic?
for instance, say, the rec commission where, some of the members of the rec commission might be coaching games.
Right.
At a distance. So the commission's about to meet, but the game is over, so they can now come on their phone. Would that be
Yes.
something they can do?
Cause they're committed, yes.
And so then those votes from those individuals would be considered, valid votes.
Correct. I mean, I don't know that they're voting so much to make, they're voting to make a recommendation to the council.
That's right.
So that's okay.
Okay. So, okay, so now the council does not need to make a decision tonight, but the council can certainly have a discussion on whether we will allow for remote or hybrid for an individual, whatever we do for one, we should do for all. Okay, should we should give them, do we wish to give the committees and the groups that do not have to meet in person, do we wish to give them the option to do hybrid or remote? Or do we want to say all of them can be hybrid, period, or all of them can be remote or in person? In person is always an option. So they can be in person, period. They could be in person and hybrid, their choice, or we can determine that. Or they can be in person and remote, and they can determine that. Or should it be, Mr. Shedanian, that whatever, and once they choose that, that's the form they have to stay to, correct, for the rest of the year?
I don't think there's a rule that says that, and that would be the council's decision. It's like a policy matter, that the council can direct their committees and to how you want them to be.
Okay. So, and we might need time to ruminate on this and also to talk to our different committees and commissions that are not necessarily statutory.
Our intention when we went back was for the governing body to be in person, but to also have a Zoom component for the public. Is that?
That's always,
okay?
yeah, that's always, the public is always allowed to come in by Zoom. It's the actual members of the commissions that have to be. Because you have to have an open meeting where people can physically come in if they want to, but allowing them the option to come in by electronically is up to the council.
Okay.
So the public is allowed.
Correct.
But one of us as members of the council will not be able to log in to a meeting. That's, I think, what Anne also is.
Right, and I think in an emergency scenario, an individual council member may be able to log in to participate if there's a need for a vote, but I would.
Unless there's a quorum, for example.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. Legally, I would prefer everybody to have at least a physical quorum present for all the meetings where votes are taken.
Yeah, so there must be a substantial reason to allow any member of the land use board, council, or environmental commission to come
Historical
in,
Preservation Commission.
historical preservation, those four. There must be a substantial, and that reason must be made known before the meeting begins, and that they must clear it with you. So
Because
that,
all those meetings have to be, not only to interrupt, but they will have to be noticed. There has to be publication. The public has to know that those meetings are available to them to attend.
all right. So I don't know if we're ready to talk about it. Are we ready to talk about it? How about this? Do we have any questions about what's been described?
I don't have a question, Mayor, but I do have a comment about being liaison for the rec. You're correct that so many of the participants as part of that committee is either at a game or in transit, me included. And it is very, very helpful that they are allowed to be remote and we have Zoom and everybody can participate, whether it be in their car or, even driving sometimes and just,
I agree. The way I see it, and I don't want to impose my ideas on the council, but the way I see it is we should either tell them that they have to choose if they're going to be remote, they should they're gonna be hybrid. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like.
It's very confusing.
It's like you can't be half pregnant, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
But
that's,
it's like, you know, it's like the
For
hybrid
example,
thing,
if-
I don't know if it works. Right, cause like one person's gonna come in and then everyone else is gonna be virtual or,
Right.
you know, some combination thereof, like. I don't think they're, like, I think, you know, in my business, we're hybrid. You know, cause some people come into the office and some like
Yeah.
work remote. But if you're having a meeting, like for, like. To have it loose, like, and not know who's coming in, or are we coming in, or is it gonna be virtual, or is it gonna be you know, kind of, like you were saying, you know, the consistency, I think.
well, what we could do is we could allow the different committees to choose remote or hybrid. If they choose hybrid, that hybrid requires the majority of the members to be present, physically present
In person.
in person. So,
No,
I
it's
don't
gonna-
know.
the
But that's a
number-
policy
none of them are
issue
gonna
though,
choose
for
It's a
that.
committees
policy
that
issue.
they're not statutorily required to do this.
no, but we should set a policy so that the public has
Right.
some sense of,
But I think that's where we divide it, right? Committees, they can choose. And if they choose hybrid, then they'll do it for the entire calendar year.
yes.
That's a policy issue, right? And that's
Yeah.
probably the best Solomon.
But we have to, as a group, decide what policy is, because you can't have a hybrid where one person is physically present and everybody else is remote, especially because they don't have, the committees won't have access to a television like we have.
Right, I was just
You
gonna say,
want-
technology,
You wanna
like,
leave
there-
it
it's
to
a
the chair of the
technology
committee
like
to
mess.
determine for each
Also,
particular
I think if we
meeting.
give them a choice, I mean, they're all gonna be virtual, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you know, it's just convenient, and that's the new normal.
Yeah.
So,
Can we have?
but
the-
I agree, Mayor, I think I totally agree with you.
Pretty?
I feel, I've been part of two of the committees earlier. One was the recreation, which we did in person, and one was Shade Tree, which was mostly done over Zoom. Both were, I feel, as productive as they could be. So I feel like, let those people decide. Let the people who are members who've been serving those committees for years, let them decide which way they want. And I agree with David, hybrid, having one person and three on Zoom doesn't make sense. Either it should be in person or Zoom, but let those committee members take a vote on, and then the council decides. It's what I.
Go ahead.
I was gonna
Claudia.
say, since the commissions is statutorily required to be in person, then we said the policy to be in person and the committees to be remote, so we don't have this hybrid. If some in person, some in Zoom, so it's everybody remote for the committees.
Barry?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're gonna go hybrid, I also think that somebody on the committee or should be designated as the person who's who's responsible for setting up the hybrid meeting. Because I've run into some issues where, you know, we want to meet in person, who's bringing the computer?
Right.
Can we hear it? Was it tested? Does it even work? You know, so I think someone needs to be responsible.
I'm in agreement with,
Yeah.
Juliana. I think
Right.
the commissions should be in person and then the committees should be on Zoom or,
Remote, not the
remote,
option of
remote,
hybrid.
Remote. Yeah, no hybrid, just
Virtual.
remote or
Mhm.
in
I
person.
think virtual, yeah.
Yeah.
I think as a policy, we should not permit hybrid, that
Yeah.
it should either be remote or in person. Because it wasn't until we had this discussion that it dawned on me, without a large screen,
Mhm.
hybrid becomes
Mm.
just unmanageable.
We
Very
tried it with.
challenging.
Also, like, how many Zoom accounts do we have?
Well, that's another thing.
Yeah.
If we allow
Yeah,
for
like,
remote, and this is a problem, because we only have one account. If you have a meeting for that meeting, somebody else can't meet. So there have been occasions where we've had, say, traffic and safety at the same time we're having a council meeting. And one of those got preempted.
Right.
John, you were gonna say something. Mr. Shannon, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I was simply, I'm in whatever the council's position is as far as the majority in terms of, and it sounds like it's gonna be commissions, because by law they have to be in person, and that committees are gonna be remote. My only thing was gonna leave it up to maybe the chair would be the person to dictate that, but if you wanna have them vote, if you're gonna make a, blanket policy, that's what the resolution will, because there should be a resolution.
Yeah.
That
Is
reflects
that the
this.
chair of the committee or the commissions too?
No, the commission, the chair of the commission doesn't have a choice.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
commissions have to by statute.
With the exception of rec,
Like,
because
yeah,
they're not really
yeah,
a
yeah.
commission. We're gonna correct that language
Mhm.
problem, hopefully soon. Lizette, we're gonna correct that recreation language problem soon, right?
It's under attorney review.
Excellent. We'll bring it to the council. All right, so how about this? How about we just, because it's not urgent, let's think about it, let's reach out, let's get, why don't we do an informal survey of our different committees, commissions, or boards, whatever you're liaison to. And then we'll have to decide, are we gonna simply say those who have to be in person, they're in person, everybody else is remote? Or are we going to give them an option for those who want to be in person to be in person? Does that work for everybody? Do we have a consensus?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, old business. Discussion to create the 250th anniversary committee. So the actual celebration is July 4th, 2026. But we do need to start moving that direction. We have someone who is volunteering to chair that, Eric Modell. Is there someone on the council who would like to make a motion to make Eric the first member, and then we would be looking for, then we'd form the committee around Eric?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now what we do need is, we need buy-in from all the commissions, committees, and everybody else. So if you can all go back to your liaisons, we talked about remote or in person, please also ask them, is there someone who would be willing to join that committee? And then we can, once we have that part built, if there are other individuals who are not currently on commissions, committees, or boards who would like to join, we can consider them. But anybody who's already been appointed, I think would be would anyone from the different groups would automatically be,
I think though Eric wants to also ask the school to participate as well. Is that an issue?
Well, we have to actually by resolution form the committee, so all we've done now is really just kind of deemed a go-to person right now.
Okay.
And we're going to need to, Lizette, and we're gonna need to look at resolutions from other towns that have formed their 250, and John, if you could help them with that. And then, we'll need to build it up over the next couple of months. I don't know that we really need to decide any of that until, once we have a resolution with it, we can then begin to, we need to pass that resolution.
Well, we did do a resolution last time, right? That we
I don't think we did a
agreed to
resolution.
form the committee, because I had to send that into Bergen County.
I think we did.
Yeah, so we did. We definitely did a resolution.
But we haven't,
We didn't put members on it.
don't we have,
We don't have any members on.
yeah, but I don't think we have a resolution, delineating how the committee will, what will membership be, like, for
No.
instance, we always have resolution, how many years, are those people who we appoint this year gonna be for 1-year term or 2-year term? And the rest of the details,
Should be about, I guess, a year and a half.
Until,
yeah.
until the actual event.
well, that's what I'm saying,
Right,
but,
okay.
John, would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay,
So we'll need a more formal process.
Yeah. okay, got it.
You have a committee you have a committee that's been formed with no members.
Yes,
Now you added the first person to it.
yes.
So now,
And then we need to have at least a skeleton resolution saying there will be these
responsibilities, right?
responsibilities, yeah. Stuff like that. Just something so that if, God forbid, we were ever sued. Yeah, we have a document
Okay.
so that the JIF can feel comfortable, indemnifying us, which we always like. Okay, any other old or new business before we open to the public? Could I have a motion second to open to any member of the public for any item?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I know the deal.
Good. I thought you did. I didn't think I need to remind you.
I'm Raymond Stitz, 210 Mohawk Drive in River Edge. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New
Glad
Year,
to
Ray.
see you. I have two issues, and I know none of them can be resolved now. We have to wait till the spring. Okay. Issue number one.
Yeah.
On Howland and Bogart, is it? Bogart. It is a free-for-all for parents driving their children to school.
Okay.
They go through that and they go, that's not for me. I don't have to stop because I'm me. And I don't have to stop. So if you would have, and it sounds simple, and I might be totally wrong that we can do this. Don't block the box. Put a box, paint the box in there. And if the parents decide, no, I have to get in there, even though I'm gonna block traffic, I need to, be there. Well, then they need to pay a ticket with the policeman,
Okay.
because right now it's a free for all. And someone's going to get hurt, either a crossing guard or kids that are not in cars.
Ray, 30 seconds.
Okay, and that's my one thing. Second thing, down on the service road.
Yeah.
Off Route 4.
Mhm.
There's gonna be a head-on collision there one day, because Bogart and Lakeview empty out on that.
Mhm.
And those people coming into the service road are usually not town people. They're coming in from New Milford or whatever, and they don't realize that it's a two-way. And they just take the second lane.
Ray, I'm not supposed to, but I'm gonna give you just 10 more seconds because we do have to be consistent about this
Okay,
for meetings where we don't allow it.
okay. So, and I just witnessed it the other day. Guy comes barreling Ave on the eastbound, and he's going westbound. And when you get caught in that situation, it's a head-on collision.
All right. Thank you, Ray.
So if this traffic department can do anything to remedy that, and I don't know if it's a county road or state road or our jurisdiction, but
Okay.
now can I sit down and
Yes, you
come back with one
can.
other thing?
No,
No. Okay. How about I report back to you regarding the banners?
because that's been approved by the council, I think it would be appropriate.
Sure.
Okay.
You can report.
So you're not really, this isn't really public comments. What you're doing, we're gonna close to the public. Hold on, go
Okay.
back to sit over there for a second. So that is there any member of the public remotely? All right, so could I have a motion and second to close the public?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Stitz, stay where you are. What we're gonna do is Ann and Lizette, if you can please send a memo to traffic safety and to the chief and to Sergeant. I was like, I was panicking over his title, Sergeant title. That would be good, as well as the chair of traffic and safety, okay? And we'll hopefully, and would they please, when they finish their deliberations, not only share it with ourselves, but after sharing it with me and the council, but reach out to Mr. Stitz with, to at least tell them where we're standing on this. Okay, so at this point, are there, Mr. Stitz, will you come forward? We have, this would be old business.
Yes,
So, old business, are veterans banners.
Right.
If you could just give us a brief report on that.
okay. So far, it hasn't been that. The road, it hasn't been robust, the people. Yeah, we're hoping that once the spring comes, they're gonna wake up and see, we want banners up, But, right now we have a handful. We had only had one negative email. And the person wanted to know how come they had to pay and everything. So I took it upon myself to visit with the person, and I explained to them that every town charges. And we're not picking on the veteran, but there's no money in the budget. And every town charges between $125 and $300. And, to please reconsider, and she took it very well.
Excellent.
Yeah, and whether she does it or not, I hope she does. And we have Joe's banner up by Cherry Hill School. And I tell everyone, go there and take a look at it. And I've handed out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 banners applications already. Myself,
Joe's is already up?
yes,
Send me a picture and some sort of caption.
Yeah.
And I will put it on the Mayor of River Edge page.
yeah, that's good.
And that might, as well as any pertinent documents that, in your caption, how others might be able to see their
Yeah.
family members.
Okay,
So, and then I'll put it up on the Mayor of River Edge page. Send it to Ann. And because then we can put it up on the website too,
okay.
if the council is in agreement.
I totally agree. I didn't know Joe's was already
I didn't
up,
know that.
and that would have been a tremendous.
Yeah.
Publicity.
Yeah, it's a good advertising.
Yeah,
And I have extra banners that we just had. Other ones from Joe's made,
Mhm.
okay? And when I suggested, and I don't know, I have to see with Jason. We should put one of the banners in the tax office, because everyone pays their taxes. Put one banner in the library, because people coming in the library, and self-advertise, to say, here's a banner. You talk to the town if you want a banner.
Okay. The library is fine, but the tax office, I'm not sure of because it has to be attached to the wall. We just built new walls. We're already. Maybe-
Eventually someone has to put a thumbtack in it.
Why don't we,
No, but even, if-
share it with Lizette and
Yeah.
we'll see what we can do.
okay, and the town isn't lit, or the,
You see, we joked about it, but I want to explain to you. Once we grant permission to do it once, we must grant permission all the time.
right,
So, and I just, in my head, I was like, I already knew that, but then the public watching and the council may not. So it's not simply the thumbtack.
Yeah.
It's, once we've granted,
everyone has to come in.
well, by law, we cannot, grant a special
Okay.
privilege. So, and I knew that in my head, but I never said it verbally, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
and we're working around, myself and Adam Reich seeing the DD 214s from the tax office, but they don't seem to understand. They said, "What do you need it?" I need it,
Yeah.
but
Again, talk to Lizette about that and Lizette, if you could, include me in that conversation as needed, okay? Is the council good with that?
Yes.
Alright, Ray, anything else?
that is it. Oh, I'll be, if you need a member of the committee up for the 250th anniversary.
Yeah, we need to
But-
also set up a liaison for that committee.
I'll be happy to.
I'll be happy.
Okay, talk to,
Okay.
and we'll put 2 and Pretty. Okay, can I have a motion second to name as liaison, Councilwoman Kinsella and Councilwoman Darrow?
I moved that motion.
That sounds a lot like a thank God it's not me motion. Do we have a second? Thank God it's not me. All in favor, please say aye. Okay, and
Thank you very much,
you're
everyone.
welcome. And would you add that to the spreadsheet? So that, and make sure the spreadsheet includes, for different individuals, that includes addresses, emails, and phone numbers, as always. Okay, council comments. Are there any council comments?
I do, Mayor. I have a communication from our chief, Schlossberg. Fire Department Chief.
Yeah.
That I'd like to read into the record. So here we go. Dear Mayor Papaleo, members of the council and honored guests, thank you for providing the opportunity to address you this evening. He's been traveling just for the record, and he's been out of town, so he's been catching up with things. I am writing to express my gratitude on behalf of the River Edge Fire Department and to take a moment to highlight the incredible work being done by our dedicated members. First and foremost, I would like to extend a special thank you to Councilman Benson for serving as our liaison in the past year. It has been a privilege getting to know Barry. His consistent support, as well as Mayor Papaleo's support and active participation, have not gone unnoticed by me and our membership. Attendance at several of our training events has demonstrated a genuine commitment to understanding the challenges we face and to witness the dedication we bring to our community. You, like us, are a person of action and a person of your word. Your encouragement has inspired me and reinforces the vital bond between the community, especially between this council and our River Edge Fire Department. The River Edge Fire Department stands as a pillar of safety and service in our community, and I could not be prouder of our membership. Our team, comprised of committed volunteers, embodies the spirit of selflessness and teamwork. Whether responding to emergencies, participating in rigorous training sessions, or engaging in community outreach, our members consistently rise to the occasion with unwavering dedication. I encourage everyone here to take pride in the River Edge Fire Department and to share in our mission of fostering a safe community. We're thankful and welcome your continued support, and we invite you to join us at future events and training sessions to witness firsthand the passion and professionalism that drive our team. We look forward to working with our new liaisons. That will be me and David Glass in 2025. Thank you again for your time, your partnership, and your commitment to the betterment of River Edge. Together, we can continue to make our community a safe and thriving place for all. Sincerely, Chief Robert Schlossberg.
Excellent.
I personally want to thank him for this note and look forward to working with Councilman Glass this year with the fire department.
So do I, thank you.
And Councilman Benson, you've done a great job, and we thank you for that. Any comment before?
It was my pleasure to work with the fire department, get to know the chief and the volunteers. And again, I've said this at multiple meetings. I'm amazed by the time and effort these people put in to protect our community, and they don't get paid. And to watch all the training they go through in the pool, in a house that's actually on fire, it really was inspiring. And I'm just very proud of them and feel very blessed that they're in place to protect us.
I heartily agree with everything that's been said. Our volunteers, we have volunteers for rec, we have volunteers for all sorts of things, but the firefighters are an amazing group, like REVAS, River Edge Volunteer Ambulance Service, because it takes 6 months of training for them to just become a basic member. And our fire department, like all fire departments, when everyone's running away from the fire, they're running into the fire. They're putting themselves at risk, and they're the hours that they have to put in for maintaining their training and their status as firefighters. And then when they're called out, they can be called out from anywhere from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. and roundabout again. So and we have a phenomenal fire department. I'm very, very proud of them, as I know all of you are too. And they're leading the way in Bergen County as being an exemplary, as a quintessential volunteer fire department, and we are very, very grateful to them. Any other comments from any other member of council?
Well, on that note, I just want to thank our DPW for doing a phenomenal job on this past snowstorm. Came in fast and quick, and they did a fantastic job the following day. Also, I was not here on January 6th, so I just want to say congratulations to Councilwoman Malalari and welcome Councilwoman Jarwal to our group.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, could I have if there are no other comments, could I have a motion and second to adjourn the meeting? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Let's take a picture.
It was good. I have to second that.